Hey y'all, it's Mary, and this is Mary Catherine Loves Cats. Welcome to my channel. I'm super excited, y'all, because this I thought was just such a fun collab to do. This is called the Savory Christmas Collab, and this collab was created by Faye Blatcher. And thank you so much, Faye, for inviting me. I've known Faye for, I want to say I've known Faye a couple of years now. I've been in some different collabs with her along the way, but when I first met Faye, I met her because she was doing a get ready with me, and I just loved the way she did her makeup, and we started chatting back and forth. And since then, I've been in some collabs with her, and she does beautiful makeup, and she does hauls, and she does some unboxings and things like that. She does a big variety of things, and she's just a sweetheart of a lady, really good lady. And I'm so excited that she invited me to do this with her because it's just not the norm of what I do. I do have to cook sometimes. I used to love to cook, but I don't really have a lot of time anymore. But I still get invited to a Christmas meal, so I bring some things. Everybody that's invited, it's a big group of people. We all bring things to help ease the hostess. And it's at my dear friend's house. Usually it's at her house or it's at her daughter's house. This year it's at her grandmother's house. So I'm just really excited about it because I love her grandma. So what I usually bring is a dessert of some sort, and then I also bring Hashbrown casserole. But let me tell you about the other people in here, and then I'll tell you my recipes. So Faye also invited a couple other people. So we have Simply You Makeup, which is V, Miss V. She is stunning. She's exotic. She's exotic. She's has a wonderful accent. She's so beautiful. She does beautiful get ready with me's. And I didn't know V before this collab, so I'm so happy to meet her. I love meeting new people. So, and I'll have everybody's link in the description for you all to go, see them and hopefully watch them and subscribe to them. And then Robin Sadowski is also in this collab with us. I'm so excited that she's in this as well. Robin, I've known Robin a long time, longer than I've known Faye. Robin does hauls, all kinds of hauls, and she does she does Mass Monday, and she does some different things like that. She does a lot of different things, and she's just, all three of these ladies, getting to know V a little bit better and knowing Faye and Robin. They're lovely, lovely people, so I think you'll enjoy their channels. So go check them out. So what I do when I go, this year will be on Christmas Eve, which is a Sunday. We are going to, I bring different desserts, but one thing that I really love to bring, I like to do something that's Christmassy, in appearance maybe. So I am making, this year, I'm making WATERGATE salad. And if you don't know what that is, if you look online, you can Google it. There are many, many recipes, but I make the original WATERGATE recipe. So WATERGATE, we all know that word from, well, if you're my age, you'll know that word from, I would say it was in the 70s, the Watergate scandal. So, but there really is a Watergate restaurant and a hotel, and the restaurant made this dessert. It's also a side dish. It's like a Jello kind of a thing that you can use as a side dish also, and it's green. So I like to make something with pistachio because it's green. If I can, sometimes I make different things. So I'm going to show you what the recipe consists of. Now, like I said, there's different recipes online. You can find many, many variations. Everybody has their own little variation. But the original one, they use a package of Jello instant pudding. Now, I use a lot of generic, as you'll see. But when it comes to Jello, I don't like generic Jello. I mean, I like the real. So this is the Jello pistachio, and it is the instant. You want a full package of the instant Jello pistachio pudding. And then you want, I'm looking at the recipe as I'm talking to you, then you want a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple. And with the juice, you want it to be with the juice. So this one you want with the juice. Some recipes online will tell you to drain the juice, but I think it needs to be in there. So it's a 20-ounce can is a big one, a large one. So I got the Dole because that's what was on sale. If the generic was on sale, I would have bought that. And I get some things at Aldi's, but I didn't shop for this for Aldi's, so I use their generic as well. And then we need a cup of mini marshmallows. So I got a bag of mini marshmallows, and I'll measure out a cup for that. And then also we need 1 3/4 cup of the non-dairy whip topping, like Cool Whip. But when I was at the store, what was on sale was the store brand instead of the Cool Whip brand, which I often will buy Cool Whip brand, but I didn't this time. So this container is 8 ounces, which usually is a cup. But when you measure this out, there is liquid measurement and there is weight measurement. I won't go into all of that, but we will measure this out to get the 1 3/4 cup. And then the last is a cup of chopped nuts. And you know, nuts are so expensive. Wow. But I did get the pecan. These are chips, so I might break them up a little bit more because they probably need to chop up a little bit more. So let me show you. I have a glass container so that I can show you as I go along and do things. And I may need to stop here and there, but I was going to measure things out and mix things up. So here we have, this is the Joel is very nice because it has this type of lid. So I'm going to pour that in. It came out very nicely. And my nice Temu spatula, I love it. Okay. That smells so good. That smells so summery. There's my pineapple with the juice. And then I want to measure out 1 3/4 cup. It's an odd sort of measurement. Oops, I have my glass measuring. And I'll use this same. So, you know, you want to get your cup. And just what I do is just pack it in there good. Because it's so lightweight, it's hard to tell, you know, exactly. And when it comes to this kind of a thing, if you're a little bit over or a little bit under, it's not going to make a big difference. See, I can see some empty space there. So I will, well, it's not pushing down, so I'll just add a little extra. But I'm going to pour that in. Put that in. And then I'm just going to do 3/4 of a cup. And then I'll show you that there's still some left in the container. And like I said, a little extra or a little less isn't going to make a difference because some recipes call for 1 1/2 cups. It just, you know, since I'm not baking, it doesn't have to be accurate. Let me put it that way. Okay, so as you can see here, there's still some left in the tub. So even though that said 8 ounces, you don't need 2 of these for the, you know, because it measures differently. So, and then we want our mini marshmallows. We want a cup of mini marshmallows. And I'm gonna have a lot of marshmallows, y'all. But I plan on making this a few times during the holiday season. So, and I may, being that it depends on how many people are going to this party, I may make more. Now this is saying 1 cup of marshmallows, but I'm thinking I'm gonna need more marshmallows. That's looking, whoops. Okay, so that's how it looks so far. We'll get it all, I'm gonna stir this real quick and see how it gets to looking. Oh yeah, maybe that looks all right. Just to get it a little bit. I probably need a bigger spatula than this one. I got this one out of the drawer since it's like a spoon style. Okay, let me open up the Jell-O. This whole container of Jell-O will go in here. This is a salad that you can have any time of year. It doesn't have to be Christmas time, but any time of year. So this is dry ingredients, so I'm gonna just sprinkle it some, and then do a little stirring, and then sprinkle a little more so that I can make sure that it incorporates well. See, what the directions say is just throw it all together. You can put the whipped cream in last, but I've done this so many times that I don't really need to. You know, you just want to fold it, which you want to do anyway, you know, with all of this. And then you can add nuts or not. Some people don't like nuts. And of course, some people are allergic to nuts. So you just have to be a little careful. with who your guests are or where you're going. If they have any allergies, you know, good idea to ask them first, because it's delicious without the nuts as well. So, all right, so this is, oops, I dropped that whole thing into it, you know, when you're trying to work. So see how it's getting pretty green. And what I do then is I put this into a pretty bowl, and then I'll put some little pieces of maraschino cherries on top. Just, you know, then you have the green and the red going. And it's just for presentation. You don't have to mix them in, but you could if you want to. Some people do mix the maraschino cherries into the salad. And when you make this, you want it to chill for about an hour. So this is super nice to make the day ahead. So if you're going to be real busy on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, you've got a lot of people coming or whatever the case may be, or you have to get up early to drive to someone's house, then make this the day before and it'll be delicious. It takes up the flavors really well. And yeah, the 1 cup of marshmallows did just great. So this is what it looks like, y'all. Let me see if I can take it up a little bit to see. It's sweet. It's very sweet and delicious. I really like this. I'm gonna put the nuts in and I'll be back. So like I said, you could use this as a side dish at your dinner or supper, or you could serve it as a dessert. So I just used a cute glass that I have. These have cat faces on it etched in. And then I put a couple of the maraschino cherries on top. And that's what this is. And that will be my dessert this year, or my side dish. Like I said, people can use it whichever way they like. And then I'll show you my hash brown casserole. I should tell you, you can use any nuts that you like and your family likes. If you want to use nuts, again, you don't have to. So, I mean, you can, when it comes to desserts, if you're baking, you have to follow a recipe. Actually, with anything you make, if you're baking, you have to follow a recipe. If you're cooking, it's a little bit different because you can throw in more garlic or throw in more onion or throw in more meat into a recipe. But when you're baking and you're using flour and baking powder and baking soda and things like that, you have to measure. So with this particular salad, the Watergate salad, you could throw in other things. It's almost like an ambrosia. My grandmother always made ambrosia when I was a kid. There was coconut in there. I've seen it, people add that in. And you can put in more of the marshmallows, which I think it was a good, once I had it together, it just seemed like not enough to me when I was doing it. I've made it many times, but I was like, only 1 cup? That was the perfect amount in there for me. But other people might like more marshmallows, or you might like less of this or more of that. And you can double that recipe so easily if you have a big group. And, you know, people just can scoop it up by the spoon. You don't have to serve it pretty, like in little dishes or anything. But just, you know, they'll put it on their plate and eat it with their meal, or they'll have it later for dessert. So now on to my hash brown casserole. I will have the recipes below, just so you know. This recipe is a copycat of the Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. And I do adapt a little bits because there's some things that I just can't find. It's really easy to make. And you can make this in a 9x13 casserole. So what you would do first is you grease the casserole. Your oven should be 350 degrees and it takes about 45 minutes. And the edges get nice and brown, crisp and brown. It's so delicious. Or you can make it in a crock pot. And my crock pot broke. It's so easy to make in the crock pot. It takes about 4 hours in the crock pot, and it also gets brown edges. It's just so easy. But my crock pot broke last year before I made it. So I had to come up with a different solution. And I have Instant Pots. And Instant Pot has a slow cooker setting. But let me tell you all, that doesn't work for uncooked food. It works for warming things up because a crock pot, the whole pot gets hot from the bottom to the top, you know, all around. An Instant Pot, it just gets hot on the bottom, so it doesn't come up the sides. So if you're making like a taco soup where everything is already, you've cooked your meat before, in fact, you can cook that in the Instant Pot and then throw everything in, then you can use it for that. But so you really need a true slow cooker, crock pot, whatever you want to call it, or you could make it in the 9x13 pan. So what I did last year was I made it in the 9x13 pan, and then I transferred it to the Instant Pot so I could plug it in at my friend's house to keep it warm while we were waiting to eat. All right, so we start out with a 30-ounce bag of shredded hash browns, and they're frozen, and I got the Ore-Ida brand. And see how they're shredded. Now you can use the ones that are little cubes. You know, the diced potatoes are fine. Whatever your family likes is just fine. My bunch likes the shredded, so that's what I use. And you throw that in your crock pot, and I just sort of push it down. And then you need a 10-ounce can of cream of chicken soup. Now I have also done this with cream of celery, cream of mushroom, because oh yeah, I have a can of cream of chicken soup in the cabinet, and then when I went to make it on Christmas morning, I didn't have it. So I must say I prefer the Campbell's. I have bought generic soups, and to me they're too salty from the different stores. So I always get the Campbell's, and the cream of chicken is what I use for this. But like I said, you can use other cream soups, whatever works for you and your family. You want 2 cups of sour cream. So this is 16 ounces. That's this whole container. And this is just the generic. And that's what was on sale. With the price of things, y'all, that's what I have to do. I'm sure you do as well. You'll use, I didn't buy it yet because it's a little early, a small onion that's finely diced. Now, what is a small onion? It's different things to different people. So, but maybe about this size. About this size. I'm thinking of a small onion, and chop it up. And then I also add, they say to add the sliced green onions, scallions, to the top for garnish. And that's very pretty. So when I chop those up and I have the greens, I also put the whites in with and sometimes, depending on how much time I have, I will saute my onions first before I throw them in. You can do it either way because they do cook in there. And you want 2 tablespoons of butter that's been melted already, and 8 ounces of shredded cheese. And I got 1 pound, which is 16 ounces. And what I'll do is I'll mix half of this bag in the mixture, and mix it all up, and then you close your crock pot and bake it, or if you're going to put it in a casserole, however you're going to do it. But then before I get it started, I put a little more cheese on top. So I don't quite use 2 cups, but maybe I use 1.25 cups or to 1.5 cups, because I just garnish it with some cheese on top, because it makes it pretty and also gets it nice and crispy. So that is what I'll be making for my items that I carry to my friend's house for Christmas. And I hope that this helps you. If it's something you'd like to try, easy. Let me tell you something. I like to do easy. Now, I can do really intricate recipes. I would consider myself years ago to be a gourmet cook. I was a gourmet cook, but I hardly do that anymore. And but it was a calming thing to me, a fun thing to me. I really enjoyed doing it. I love to make delicious and beautiful food. But nowadays I want ease. And especially since we have to travel to get to my friend's grandma's house. It's about an hour and a half away. So we have to travel. So I want things that can travel. So that's what I'm making this year. So y'all, thanks so much for stopping by to see this collab. And again, go check out see what Faye Blatchard is doing, and what V from Simply You Makeup is doing, and what Robin Sadowski is doing. And I'll have them all below, like I said, and you'll easily find them. And let them know I sent you if you're new to their channel. And just enjoy it. And maybe you'll get some good ideas for your own party, for your own Christmas meal or New Year's. Now, between now and the first of the year, a lot of people have many, many parties. I know down here in the South, there's so many families here that are close You know, you get married and then you have your husband's side of the family, your side of the family, and they just have to go, this Saturday is Grandma so-and-so's house. Next Saturday is Grandpa so-and-so's house. This Wednesday night, we're going to go over here. And, you know, like there's so many parties to go to. These things are easy to put together and do and just take you with you, especially that Watergate salad. You can make a big batch of that and then split it in half and take half of it with you one place and half of it with you another place. You know, so easy, y'all. So thanks for stopping by and enjoy the holidays, however you celebrate. And thank you for stopping by. Count your blessings. Bye-bye.